History repeats itself, not only in life but also in chess. Welcome to another edition of Life is Chess. Today we shall see a series of combinations where the players were different, the times were different, the positions were different, but the themes kept on repeating. Our first example, which is also the primary example of today's episode, is taken from a game which was played by the American legend Paul Morphy while he was touring Europe. This is a very well-known game. It was played against two French noblemen who consulted among themselves while making their moves. Morphy white, the consultants were black. I shall go through the opening quite quickly, focusing and pausing only in the main areas of the game. Well, this is the Philidor defense. Morphy played d4, which is the most common, and the consultants, instead of defending the e pawn, went for a pin, which is counter attack. Paul Morphy captured de5, and before recapturing de5, which would result in a loss of pawn after queen exchange and knight e5, black went for an intermediate move, bishop f3. After white recaptures queen f3, black gets de5, bishop c4, threatening a checkmate with the queen. Black defends knight f6, and here it's very important. Morphy plays the move queen b3. He makes use of double attack. He attacks f pawn as well as b pawn. It's double attack. White wins one pawn. Black plays queen e7. He defends the most critical pawn, f7, and rightly so, because after white captures the b7 pawn, which looks, it seems white is going to win the rook, but black has a defense that is queen b4 check that would exchange the queens, and white would be one pawn up, but black would be very much in the game. Instead, white opts for piece development. Instead of capturing the b pawn, Morphy opts for developing the queen. He realizes the black queen is actually blocking the development of the bishop. That is why white focuses on piece development. Black plays c6. White continues piece development. And even now it's very difficult for black to unwind. So black played b5 with the intention of playing knight bd7 next. Notice, had black played knight bd7 at once, he would still have lost a pawn. So first he plays b5, hoping that white would retreat, and only then black could develop the knight and gradually catch up with development. But after b5, white went further and ahead. That is, he went further up with knight b5 check, knight b5 combination. After b5, instead of retreating, white kept on moving forward. He sacrificed his knight. Knight takes b5 with the intention, when black recaptured, white played check. White gave away one knight for two pawns, but more importantly, he is attacking the king, which doesn't have a safe shelter. Black had to defend, and white kept up his relentless pressure. He brought his rook into attack. Now the rook is also attacking the knight and takes control of the d file. Black defends rook d8. The reason is, had black played any other move, say a move like h6, white could straight away play bishop d7, and this knight is pinned. It can only recapture at the cost of losing the queen. That is why black had to defend the knight. And now white played a series of beautiful moves. he basically exchanged this rook for a defender. And the way he does that is he first captures rook takes d7. After black recaptures rook d7, that is the only way without losing queen. White once again plays rook d1. So in effect, white has the next move, of course, white will win back this rook. So in effect, white has basically substituted this rook for this rook. And now it's black to play. White is threatening to capture rook d7 or bishop d7. Black plays the move queen e6. Now this is the point where I would like to emphasize. It's white to play. Try to guess how Morphy finished the game very shortly. Well, if you have seen this game previously, it's very easy. Even otherwise, the combinations are not very difficult to work. White played the move bishop from b5 to d7. With one move, white opens this file for the queen as well as this diagonal for the bishop. Let us see how it happens. Black plays knight d7, and now white plays another line clearance sacrifice, that is queen b7 check, sacrificing the queen. The idea is quite simple. After black takes knight b8, white played rook d8, and with only one rook and one bishop, he delivers a deadly checkmate. Notice how, with the help of this queen check, white has basically cleared. He forced the knight to capture the queen, opening the d file for the rook. So this is called line clearance sacrifice. 43 years later, two little known players, Disley and Rossipal, played this game in the year 1900. So once again, after the moves e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, white played d4, which is called the Scotch game. White takes e d4, knight d4, and here black plays a move which is considered slightly inferior, that is knight takes d4, allowing white to centralize his queen. The queen cannot be driven away so easily. Black plays knight e7, white keeps developing, and instead of knight c6, where actually white had planned queen d5 attacking f7, and there is no easy way to defend except bringing his queen forward, black played the move c6, preventing queen's intrusion into black's position. White continued development. Black played d6, white played bishop g5, and notice how the little known player Disley plays very similar to Paul Morphy. He brings out his bishops to the same squares, the knight also to the same squares, the queen is also brought out, and black played queen b6. Black adopts a defensive strategy of exchanging piece. He challenges the white queen as well as he attacks the pawn. He offers an exchange of queen. If white queen moves, he would capture the b pawn. White to play. Just like Morphy, Disley goes forward. He takes the d pawn. Black plays queen b2, attacking c3 and a1. The rook and knights are attacked. How does white defend? Well, white played the move rook d1, a brilliant move, leaving the c3 knight to be captured without support. White threatens a checkmate on d8, but it's black to play. Black plays the move queen c3 check. The move checks the white king and also attacks the bishop. Of course, it can't be taken at once. White plays the move bishop d2. If white moved king f1 with the threat of checkmate on d8, black could play an in-between move queen c4, capturing the bishop with a check and only then defend against the checkmate. So that would leave black with an absolutely winning position. He just captured a knight. He is one piece up. White played bishop d2, a brilliant move, sacrificing a bishop, and now it is white to play. Can you guess how white finished the game? Well, white played the move queen d8 check after king d8, leaving the whole queen or pre to be captured without any support. Black captured, and now bishop a5 double check. Check with the bishop, check with the rook. The only move to escape is king to e8, and now rook d8 checkmate. The final position looks similar to Morphy's, a bishop and rook delivering a checkmate on d8, and white has sacrificed a queen. Not the same, exactly the same position, but similar position. 10 years later, two very famous chess masters, Richard Reti and Tartakover, they played a game which is very instructive. White played e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3. This is the Caro-Kann defense. And after de, knight e4, black played knight f6. Instead of knight f6, which is considered to be the best move in this position, disrupting black's pawn structure after gf6, white opted for queen d3. Here black cannot play bishop f5, which looks very natural, because after knight f6 the bishop will be lost. Therefore black opted for a move e5, which turned out to be a big mistake in this position. After white captured the pawn, it looks like black had sacrificed a pawn, but no, black played queen a5 check, and after white defense, black recaptured the pawn. Attacking the e4 knight, black hopes to simplify the position, to exchange as many pieces and go into an end game with equal chances. But white played a move very simple and very beautiful. That is, white castled long, bringing this rook into an open file. If black captures queen e4, white could simply play rook e1, trapping the queen. Instead, black captures knight e4, and here it is white to play. Guess what is the killer blow played by Richard Reti? Well, Reti played the move queen d8 check. Once again, same move, different position, forcing black to play king d8, and once again bishop g5 check, this time not from a5 but from g5. Once again it is double check, and once again it is the combination of rook and bishop. The king has to move. If the king moves to e8, we see the same checkmating pattern of Paul Morphy, sacrificing the queen and using bishop and rook. If the king moves to c7, the bishop will drop on d8, and once again the king does not have any move to escape. Checkmate. a game which was played by Vukovic in 1926. It is white to play. Material is equal. Black is threatening white queen with his bishop, as well as f2 pawn with the knight, bishop, as well as queen. So it seems white is in trouble, but it is white to play, and we can already see the similarities with the previous example. It is white to play. Well, white played the same brilliant move once again, and that is queen d8 check. Black had to capture king d8, after which white plays bishop g5, the same double check and same combination of rook and bishop. This time black once again plays king e8, rook d8. Black has the escape square on f7. It is not yet checkmate. White had to think few moves deeper to finish the game. White had to foresee the move e6, which is very brilliant. It vacates the e5 square for the knight, as well as continues the attack on the king. If black plays bishop e6, white can checkmate with knight e5. If black plays king g6, white can simply play knight f4, and once again it is a checkmate. And if black plays the move king e6 as was played in the game, white would play knight f4, king f7, knight e5. So in this example we see a combination of rook, bishop, as well as two knights. Finally, I offer you to solve this position with black to play. Chesstactics versus Kogan, 1933. If you have followed the previous examples properly, it won't be difficult for you to spot that black can play queen d1 check, forcing white to capture the queen, and then knight e3 double check. It's very important to note that knight c3 looks similar, but it is not similar because that would allow white to escape via c2. So the right move is knight e3 double check. White has to play king e1, and that would allow rook d1 checkmate. So in this example, instead of bishop and rook, it is knight and rook combination. So we see all the examples we have seen are similar. I hope you found today's lessons instructive. Keep watching Life is Chess.